you realize that the body mind is actually arising within awareness. And you can check it out. Like there's awareness that's looking through the eyes.
Yes.
You look down, there's awareness of the body, there's awareness of the legs, awareness of the arms, awareness of, the clothes on the body. And it's impersonal awareness that's knowing all those things. It isn't Nina that's knowing them. And it never has been. So that's why you're existing as this infinite ocean of awareness within which all forms are appearing. And one of those forms is the body mind of Nina. So really it's just that you're hooked up to this virtual reality game, and you've got this game piece, which is the human body, which has been called Nina. And the body enables you to navigate this dualistic realm of experience. And then you can play the role. So you can pretend that you really are this person called Nina. You can pretend that you exist in time and space, that you have a family, but all of those experiences require consent. You have to consent to identification, or to, well, not necessarily identification, because once you see the clarity that you've never left infinite awareness and that you've remained as impersonal, neutral awareness, then you just step into the character role. So it's just that you've been allocated this role. There's a little play going on. It's called The Life and Times of Nina. And there's a few characters on the stage. So there's Nina, and then Nina's family, and
Yeah. I get that.
then
Yes.
you just have this part. So you're actually resting as the infinite being. But if your husband says to you, shall we go and have a meal, or shall we go for a walk, or shall we watch TV or something, then you have to engage the mind. You have to step into the role. So you have to deliver the script. Then it's the so you then step into the role of being Nina, and you just play that, when really you never become that. In the same way, what I know completely clearly is that what we all truly are is this infinite ocean of awareness within which all the universe's time streams, dimensions appear. But there's this role, the role of this character called David Bingham, and he does certain things. And when David Bingham isn't being called on to do something, have a conversation or anything like that, then it isn't David Bingham. There is no David Bingham. There is only infinite awareness. But it's just that if there's a conversation, or if there's something to do, like, open the window for my mum's dog, or to do something else, then you step into the role of the character. But every other time, it's like my friend says, we only become the character when somebody knocks our door. Because when we're alone, we're just resting as this infinite field of awareness. It's only when your husband speaks to you, or your child, or your mum, or a neighbor, when they speak to you, that you step into the role as though you are really this person called Nina.
Yes. It definitely feels like a video game or Matrix or something.
Yeah,
It's
it
definitely
is.
that.
And it's an energetic game. And there are two aspects to it. So the first one, self-realization, is utterly simple, because it's just seeing that you are already effortless, neutral, infinite awareness, which is a field of awareness. It's an infinite ocean, or an infinite field of awareness. It isn't a body. The sense of a body, the mental body arises, and within that arises a sense of individuality. And then there's the emotional body, which arises, which can reinforce that sense of individuality. And then the physical body shows up, which is it's like a symbol of separation. But when you can just see that you're resting in your infinite nature. And even in terms of the body of wisdom or effortless being, you're resting as effortless being. There's no effort required. You don't need to step into the character. You don't need to engage the mind or the emotions. You can just rest in your infinite nature. The more you become familiar with that, the more peace becomes available and the more bliss becomes available. But stepping into the dualistic realms, actually stepping into the dualistic realms when there's familiarity with effortless being, becomes optional, and it also becomes more harmonious. It's when we've consented to the idea that we are the physical body, or that we are the mind, or that we are the emotions, that's where the turbulence is.
Yeah.
But if we let's just have a look at the way the mind works for a moment, because the mind is like a radio receiver, or like a TV set, or like a mobile phone. So if there are predominant themes, so would you say there are any predominant emotions that arise for Nina?
Still some level of maybe frustration or confusion.
Okay.
Kind of stirring the pot, getting close, but not getting there. Frustrating.
Okay.
That's rising
Well,
in the awareness.
right. That's a good example, because really if we just let's take the sense of frustration. So impersonal awareness is aware of frustration. So frustration is just like a wave. It's like an energetic wave, and you're familiar with that feeling. But the element of consent has been activated, where you've personalized it, and you're saying that Nina is frustrated.
Yes.
But Nina was never frustrated, because there is simply impersonal awareness of that energy frequency, which you call frustration. But when you consent to the idea that it's personalized, and you say, oh, I'm frustrated, then you're on the ride. You're on the frustration theme park ride.
Yes.
But you never stepped onto that ride, because you're the infinite being, which is neutral and effortless. And there's an invitation onto that ride, which is saying, if you pretend that you're Nina, then you can pretend that you're frustrated, and you'll have the full-on ride as though you are. But you never became Nina, so you never, but you've consented to the ride. That's where you're exercising the consent. And the way it works is, because the body mind is like a mobile phone, so the way it works energetically within this matrix is, there are certain experiences, so there are certain tendencies to go on particular rides. So Nina's had a tendency to go on the frustration ride quite a bit. And so the way that works is, there's a delivery of a thought and emotion, which is saying, oh, I'm frustrated because I'm not getting this. Now, that thought and emotion is being delivered into the body mind as though it's yours. And because nobody's told you that it isn't yours, it's actually a transmission into the body mind. You've actually taken it to be true, and you've taken it that it's Nina who's frustrated, when it never was. It's just that you were deceived into taking delivery of that frequency, thinking that it's yours, and then you, the infinite being, consent to that limitation. You then plug your energy supply into that, and you fuel it as though it's yours, but you're the one who's paying for that ride, because it's the energy that's coming from your infinite nature, from the consent to the idea that that frustration is yours, that's fueling or paying for that ride. So there's the energetic expenditure of the frustration, when actually it's because you were deceived into believing that it's your thought and your feeling.
Very interesting.
And it's in the same way as a mobile phone works. The mobile phone operator is constantly monitoring the usage of the phone. So in the same way as Vodafone is seeing what the content is that you're viewing, the demiurgic source of intelligence, the dualistic source of intelligence, is monitoring the content where you're taking delivery. So it's saying, oh yeah, we've got Nina on the go here because she thinks that she's frustrated. So what we'll do is we'll constantly deliver these thoughts and emotions, these invitations, to get her to pick them up, believe that she's frustrated, and we're really basically stealing her energy because she's believing them to be personalized, and we keep getting her and we're just laughing at her because she keeps taking the bait.
Oh my goodness. Oh, getting closer.
Well, you're already there, because even that thought, that's a really good example of the way it's a two-way flow, because your consciousness is being constantly monitored. So I've just exposed the whole way the game works. So the way the system reacts to that is it delivers a thought into the mind, which is saying, oh, I'm getting closer now. But actually, even that is keeping you in the game, because there's no getting closer, because you're already there. It's just that you consented to that belief. That thought was
Yes.
delivered just like that.
Yes.
And that was in defense to try to keep you energetically engaged, because before that you were thinking that you were frustrated, and then you saw through that whole illusion, and then there's the delivery, which is saying, I'm getting closer. But that's the delivery of the thought. That's the delivery. That's the dualistic delivery system trying to keep you in the game. And you took the bait. You believed that to be your thought, and then you voiced it as though it's yours. You adopted it instantaneously and then repeated it as though it's your thought.
Yes. Yes. But I can feel an energetic shift here, which I
Great.
can't put into words. It's not that it's crystal clear in my awareness yet. Well, again, that's my mind saying that, but I can feel that there's some kind of like
Yeah.
something happening.
Well, that's exactly it. Because, well, what's happening is the energy that previously was fueling identification with the thoughts and the emotions has been released from that energetic compromise, and it's becoming available to you. So you're feeling the energy that's been released from identification with those
Yes.
forms, which was keeping you in the game.
Yes. Yes.
And that energy, the more you become familiar with that, the more that energy becomes available, and the more that actually aligns with your infinite nature. So the potential available through the body of wisdom becomes even greater then. You've got it though, haven't you?
What do you want me to answer? No, no, just
Well, you can see that
I
distinction.
there's
You
definitely
saw,
something in that. Yeah, yeah, there's definitely something here now.
you saw that distinction, didn't you? You saw the
Yes,
way
yes,
the emotions and thoughts were being personalized and delivered for you to have the option to identify with them and believe that they're yours, and then for your energy to fuel that limitation, so you have the experience of frustration. And then you saw that that actually was just an option being delivered. That's like a little soap
yes,
opera. It's called, the frustration game. And
yes,
that option was being delivered into the body mind as an invitation to try to get you to identify with it, because in the past you've done that. And as it is with, if you've purchased certain things in the past, the frustration package, then, is like a standing order and it keeps getting delivered.
Mm.
But once you see that it's optional and you see that it's being delivered rather than it being yours, you just cancel that. And
Mm.
you can clean up the whole realm of the mind and the emotions once you understand that you're involved in this energetic game.
So my mind is still buying into the game
Well,
constantly.
the
Like,
first thing you'll
and
say, let's just have a look at that a moment, because there's personalization in the language, which is maintaining the idea that it's your mind. So you're saying, oh, my mind is still buying into the game. It isn't your mind. The thoughts aren't yours. So there's even saying my mind is consenting to the personalization, which is maintaining the sense that that content is yours.
okay.
So rather than saying my mind, it's better to say there is an impersonal awareness of thoughts and emotions being delivered as invitations to try to get me to believe that they're mine when they never were.
Okay, so there's the awareness arising of the mind doing that.
Yeah. But you're not the mind, you're the infinite being, you're the infinite awareness that
Behind
is
it.
aware, of that mind, which is just like a little delivery system, and it's trying to get you to buy it. It's trying to get you to consent to identifying with it as though it's yours. And when you do that, you're energetically plugged in and you're fueling it. It's your energy that's compromising it. Once you do that, then you can take delivery of things like frustration, anger, fear, any of those things. But all of those things are based on consenting to the idea that the mind is yours. And we've been conditioned to use language which is personalizing things from moment to moment. So, as Moody said, you were never born. So, in this moment, you're just existing as the infinite timeless being. But there is this delivery system which is trying to invite you into the personalized realm of experience. And you've been conditioned into using language which reinforces that personalization. So, you're existing as effortless, impersonal being. But as soon as you use the words my mind, you've consented to the personal realm and you're back in the game. But you never become that. You remain as impersonal awareness, but you can have the ride as though you're the person. And it's mainly through language. That's why, there's the word spelling. It's
Yeah.
casting a spell. Language casts a spell of limitation
Yes.
over our infinite nature. And if we consent to that spell, it's the same way as the way magic works. It's only if we believe the magic that it has an effect on us. If we don't consent to that, it doesn't. And it's the same with the spell of language. If we start, if there's the delivery of an invitation, thoughts or emotions, and then you use language and say, oh, my mind or my emotions, you're consenting to the idea that it's yours. And that the identification is what plugs the energy in and fuels it.
Yes.
So all the problematic stuff is in the personal realm of experience. You never became that, just remain as the infinite impersonal being, and it's game over.
Yes. Okay. Because there's awareness right now of what if the mind doesn't engage, then there is nothing else. So the mind has to get engaged, is the belief that is
Well, that's
in
again, that's a
awareness right now. So there's no other
yeah.
way of doing this or being there, because the mind is wanting to handle it all the time. That's in the awareness
Well,
right now.
that's an ingenious delivery. So you can see the sequence. First of all, there is the delivery of the invitation, say, into frustration, and then that's amended to say, "Oh, I'm getting there." So that's the amended version. And then this third level, which you've just described, is the next stage of trying to keep you in the game, which is it's delivering these thoughts saying that without the mind, there's no experience. The
Yes.
truth is, though, all of the stuff of value comes there's the primary delivery system, which is actually coming from the infinite being in the form of
Yes.
things like inspiration, intuition, love, compassion, spontaneity, synchronicity. All of those things are coming in from one's infinite nature. It's just
Yes.
that you have the choice to either make that delivery system primary, or you remain
Yes.
engaged in the secondary dualistic system, which is keeping you in the turbulent realm of experience rather than in the expansive and ever progressive
Yes.
realm of experience. But the mind is ingenious in the way it delivers those thoughts. So that thought which came in, can you see that sequence? The way, firstly, there's identification with frustration. You see through that, and then it's saying, "Oh, I'm getting there now." And then the third one is trying to pretend that the mind is primary, and without the mind, there's going to be no experience.
Yes. However, in the third one, there is already a gap. I can
Great.
see the gap between the observer or the awareness
Mm.
and seeing the mind wanting to do that.
Fantastic.
So yeah, there
Well,
is
that's
some
great because
space
it's,
there definitely,
yeah,
which I can see.
fantastic. Well, previously, it was like total identification with a character in a soap opera on TV. That's the way most people are living. But now the TV program is still on, but you're looking at it. You can see that. You
Yeah,
can see that being delivered. It's being transmitted as an invitation, but the gap that's there is you no longer identify with the character.
yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, it is so interesting.
So you can just see how you reclaim the energy from the dualistic realm. You're the one who decides whether you engage in that or not.
Mm. Yes,
And if you're not engaging in that, you're in alignment with your infinite nature. And then the quality of the delivery that's coming from your infinite unified nature is completely different.
yes,
And it's expansive, evolutionary, it's effortless. It gives you guidance and structure that you don't need to think about.
yes, yes. Yeah, wow, okay. I'm a bit speechless right now.
That's the idea.
Yes.
Do you feel the energetic shift? Can you feel the disconnection?
Yes, yes. Energetic shift, definitely. Yes, and I can't remember already what you said, the second one, but I feel I'm kind of falling
Great.
backwards energetically. I can't explain it
Fantastic.
better, but there's something to lean back is happening.
Yeah. Well, you have this recording, which you can refer to, because there's quite a lot of information in here, and it'll just, remind you.
Yes, which is great. I will definitely watch it again. All of your other videos have been so super helpful to
Great.
me that if I can help anyone else or our conversation, then I think that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that's the nice thing, because, with people, it's really about resonance. And some people resonate with someone's experience, and, for others, it's someone else. But, the more examples there are where people see through this game,
Yes.
and they return to functioning from their infinite nature, it is really inspiring. And it's these conversations, when people see them on my channel, that are having the biggest effect at the moment, because
Exactly.
I'm still having conversations, but I would say there are more people realizing their true nature now from watching the videos of people
Yes.
realizing their true nature than from having the one-to-one conversations, which is what I love,
Amazing.
because it's less work for me, and it's just really accelerating then. Great. Well, it's been lovely to meet you. It's been amazing. So
Thank you
so
so
nice.
much. Yes, David, really appreciate it. Thank